Cover Killer Nation have a duo of track reviews for you today. And these are from two bands that are actually very well respected. However, there's a generation gap there. It's almost like going from the past to the present. First one that we're going to tackle today is going to be Hate Train by Metallica. Now, this is a song that was recorded during the Death Magnetic sessions, however, was not included on the final release. It was recently unearthed and posted and made available on YouTube for the first time just a couple of days ago in honor of the 30th anniversary of the band's founding. Because, you know, you don't want to use an album like Lulu to represent your first 30 years as a band, because it's going to seem like your first 30 years sucked. But yeah, Hate Train, let's talk about it. This is actually a really good song. Alright, I enjoyed this song a lot, mainly because it's got a nice little blues-driven idea that's kind of similar, and I would kind of almost expect to hear in a song with the name of Hate Train. You almost kind of think of Train of Consequences by Megadeth, how it kind of sounds exactly the way that the name sort of suggests. You get like a mental picture in your head of what you're kind of expecting it to sound like, and then whenever it sounds kind of close to what you're thinking, you kind of feel, you know, really special. But at the same time, this song was constructed pretty well. It has a couple of nice solos within it. Like I said, the blues guitar is very good. The one thing I will say, and it's no surprise, so I just have to say it, why wasn't this on the album? Like, even on like a deluxe edition or something like that. Yeah, James's vocals are solid, but the lyrics are god-awful. They're abysmal. They're terrible, but that's something that we've grown very used to, Metallica fans. It's something that's kind of been a part of our personal life ever since the Load and Reload sessions. It's almost as though James one day woke up and became just an awful wordsmith. I don't know what it is, but overall, I'd have to say that Hate Train is a very good release. This is something that may have raised the score of Death Magnetic overall had it been included on the album. It wouldn't have had that much of an effect, but every little bit helps. And Death Magnetic was kind of a average to slightly above average album anyway, so another great song would actually have made this album seem a lot better. The second track that we're going to get into is Ghost Walking by Lamb of God. Now, Lamb of God has, of course, received a lot of acclaim within the past 10 years. Kind of in the years in which Metallica was receiving a lot of widespread hate, Lamb of God was receiving a lot of widespread acclaim for their form of metalcore. And this is a track that I gotta say, this is going to be off of their upcoming album, which is going to be released in January. And I was more impressed with the first single. I really was. This is a song that just kind of falls flat. It seems like it has every Lamb of God characteristic that we've kind of known for the past 10 years. It's very cliche, and it doesn't really take any sort of adventurous leap. And that's something that for this band, it kind of needs to be done, because, at least in this fan's opinion, the novelty's kind of worn off. You only can listen to one idea so many different times, and this is a band that has evolved that idea consistently throughout the first decade of their career. However, with this, it really doesn't seem like there's any sort of leap whatsoever. Almost as though this is a song that's just going to soothe the palates of the hardcore fans. You know, those that will basically swallow anything that Lamb of God creates as though it's seed and they're a prostitute, and just, you know, lick their lips and go, nummy, 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 Lamb of God. Well, all I have to say is that hopefully the rest of this album ends up being a little bit better, because this song just kind of bored me. It wasn't one that was really a very solid effort, wasn't one that really took any sort of adventure, and I think that it just suffered because I felt like I'd heard it a lot of times before. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, there's your two track reviews for today. I'm Cover Killer Nation, reminding you to have your prostitutes spayed and neutered. Why you would neuter a prostitute